Sri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Sai SATCHARITRA, an Insight. Episode 221. My humble prostrations at the lotus feet of our Sadguru Sai. By the divine grace of Sai, an attempt has been made to translate the gist of the divine discourse of Sri Ramanathan brother telecasted in Sai TV. This is purely done to share the glory of Sai and his divine teachings with more insight to the aspirants. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahmam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Devotees, in the previous episode, we listened that Sri Sai Maharaj made Dr. Pillai to write a reply to the letter sent by an ardent devotee named Raghuvir Bhaskar Purandare with instructions to take Udi by mixing in water and to inhale the herbal powder known as Bukki was sent. As soon as Purandare received the letter, he adhered to their instructions by drinking the water mixed with Udi and inhaled the powder. As soon as he did this, he began to sneeze severely. This made him feel little better. The headache subsided a bit. He felt sleepy and had a sound sleep. He woke up only around 10 a.m. Usually, he would wake up very early, but that day we do not know if it was due to the Udi water or the inhalation of the herbal powder that he was in deep sleep for long hours. After this, his headache was bearable. Subsequently, when he went to Shirdi, Sri Sai Maharaj instructed him to build a home, whereas Purandare was reluctant as he was just receiving a salary of rupees 35 and was already in a financial crisis. So he thought it is unfeasible to build a house with that meager salary. Whereas Sri Sai Baba had been repeatedly insisting him to construct a house and said Purandare can get relieved from his headache only by constructing the house. Purandare couldn't carry on with the orders, and Sri Sai Baba told Fakir Baba that some people don't listen to him at all, and looking at Purandare, he said, I will make every impossible thing possible for you. Do not worry, I will give you lots of money. I will make you happy. I have already made beams for your house. Now just say yes. Then Purandare said, Baba, when you are there and when your blessings are with me, I have no fear, but only you will have to do it, because you know everything. Baba smiled and took the responsibility. He said, Allah Malik hai, and put his hand in his pocket and took out fistful of paise and gave it to Purandare. It counted to 6 annas. After a month or so, his friends came to him with a proposal of buying a land in Bandra. Purandare was not able to buy the land, but Sri Sai Maharaj's miracles are unfathomable. When Purandare approached his friend for money, he readily gave him without any promissory note. Still, Purandare couldn't think of construction. He again went to Shirdi, and Sri Sai Maharaj, in the presence of Kaka Sahib Dikshit and Nana Sahib Chandorkar, complained thus, Look, he is not listening to me, as if a brute is talking to him. Purandare's headache also continued, and he took leave with Udi and blessings of Sri Sai Maharaj. Allah acha karega, build the house soon, and I want to come there. Purandare returned to Bandra. When the house construction was complete, Purandare informed Sri Sai Maharaj, and the housewarming ceremony was fixed on a Thursday. On the day of the ceremony, though he had mild headache, he ignored and taking Sri Sai Maharaj's divine portrait, singing bhajans, he walked into the new house. Sri Sai Baba also walked along with him until Purandare placed the portrait inside the house, then miraculously disappeared. From then, Purandare was cured forever. Sri Sai Maharaj makes Shyama and occasionally Bapu Sahib Jog to write replies to the letters sent by the devotees to him. But in this case, to the letter of Purandare, surprisingly, Sri Sai Maharaj made Dr. Pillai to write the response. None understood the reason behind this, but looking at the future events, when Dr. Pillai was suffering from ringworms, he too uttered the same words as that of Purandare, that I am unable to bear this pain, so please request Baba to give me death and carry this suffering to my next 10 births. Unless Sri Sai Baba be omniscient and omnipotent, how would he know that Dr. Pillai will also have to experience a similar situation soon as that of Purandare? How magnificent are the leelas of this compassionate mother Sri Sai Baba. Now, we will be heeding to the leelas of Sri Sai Maharaj in the life of Raghuveer Bhaskar Purandare. It is essential that every Sai devotee listens to these incredible leelas as they demonstrate the prema bhakti of Purandare, which is very dear to Sri Sai Maharaj. Purandare's loving devotion for Sri Sai Baba is priceless and even made Sadguru Sri Sai Maharaj to marvel at the ocean of love he poured upon him. There is a general perception that the Devas long for bhava, that is emotional tendencies. God's forms are Devas. They don't feel hungry or thirsty. They don't have death or worries, but they long for the emotion that exhibits loving devotion upon them. Eventually, it becomes their responsibility to protect those devotees that express dedicated devotion upon them. Hence, the philosophy of complete surrender, that is Sharanagati, emphasis on loving devotion. Besides, Sri Sai Maharaj also earns for loving devotion, and Purandare was the one who immersed Sri Sai Baba in his devotion. Even if one would utter Purandare's name with devotion, Sri Sai Maharaj will be pleased with them and shower abundant grace upon that person. Purandare's devotion can also be termed as Ananya Bhakti, which means devotion without any deviation. There is no other thought in his heart other than Sri Sai Maharaj. Ever he could think, speak, drink, eat only the name of Baba, Baba, Baba. The love of Purandare upon Sri Sai Baba was unparalleled. We don't find much information about Purandare in Sri Sai SATCHARITRA other than in chapter 9, where, knowing Purandare's family was going to Shiradi, Mrs. Tarkett sent 2 brinjals with Mrs. Purandare to cook barit with one and kacharya with the other and serve Sri Sai Maharaj. Upon reaching Shiradi, Mrs. Purandare prepared barit and took it to masjid, and Sri Sai Baba found it very tasty and he distributed it to all and said he wanted kacharyas now. The message was sent to Radhakrishna Mai, and as that was not brinjal season, it was difficult to get one. Then they pondered who prepared barit and found that Mrs. Purandare offered it based on Mrs. Tarkett's request, and moreover, she has kept another brinjal to cook kacharya. Hearing this, everyone was dumbstruck to know the omniscience of Sri Sai Maharaj. But There are various amazing leelas that were experienced by Purandare. Devotees, if Purandare thought of Sri Sai Maharaj, then instantaneously Sri Sai Maharaj would manifest in front of him. Isn't this astounding? Purandare was born in Thane district in a place known as Kelva Mahim. This is also the birthplace of Anna Sahib Tabolkar, that is Hemat Pant. Looks like there is some connection between Sri Sai Maharaj and this place, because both these very significant devotees were drawn by Sri Sai Baba from here, says Ramanathan brother. Purandare belonged to Deshastha Shukla Yajurvedi Brahmin community. He was working for GIP Railways. Actually, a division of the railways was known as GIP Railways, now known as Central Railways. But during the British rule, it came to be known as Great Peninsula Railways, and Purandare worked as a clerk in the workshop. Owing to the devotion he had upon Sri Sai Maharaj, official work was always secondary to him. Whenever his heart longs to have Sri Sai Baba's darshan, he would leave his work abruptly and immediately start to Shiradi. Such was his devotion. He was residing in Dadar, and during the year 1909, he heard about Sri Sai Maharaj and longed to see him. He was always associated with the saints. At that point of time, Sri Sai Baba appeared in his dream vision and asked him to come to Shiradi. He wanted to immediately start to Shiradi with his family. His family comprised of his mother, wife, and a 6-month-old girl baby. The baby was very ill, so his mother objected to take the baby to Shiradi, whereas Purandare was very persistent. He told his mother that if a saint had appeared in his dream and called him for darshan, then he must go immediately without thinking of the pros and cons of the situation. So he insisted that they should all go to Shiradi immediately. Finally, he convinced everyone and they all started to Shiradi, and his brother also accompanied them. As soon as they reached Shiradi, the entire family realized what a great saint Sri Sai Maharaj is. In the first 3 days, the baby had some discomforts, but from the 4th day onwards, the child became normal. Sri Sai Baba didn't permit them to leave until 13 days. As the child recovered, the family gained devotion, and Purandare, from the moment he saw Sri Sai Maharaj, his heart was filled with loving devotion and developed unswerving faith on Sri Sai Maharaj. Though this was his first darshan, he didn't want to leave the holy abode Shiradi. Anyway, he had to go to Boribandar, a place in Mumbai, to get back to his work. After 13 days, Sri Sai Maharaj gave them Udi and permitted them to leave. So they packed their things and loaded their luggage in the cart. Omniscient Sri Sai Maharaj was aware that they have not eaten anything. So Sri Sai Baba asked them what they ate. The family replied that they have not eaten anything. Sri Sai Baba ordered them to unload all the bags from the cart and immediately eat their food and then start their journey. Devotees, we are aware that Sri Sai Maharaj never encouraged fasting. This was evident even in chapter 32. So the same thought is emphasized by Sri Sai Baba to Purandare in this incident. After they ate their meals, they went to Sri Sai Baba to take their leave. At that moment, Sri Sai Baba said, "You can go, but halt at Nasik for a day and then resume your journey." Now Purandare had to go to Mumbai, for which he had to go to Kopargaon railway station by a tonga from Shiradi. Then by train from Kopargaon to Manmad. From Manmad, they must go to Mumbai via Nasik. Purandare wanted to strictly adhere to the instructions of Sri Sai Maharaj. At the very first sight, he gained confidence on Sri Sai Baba. They alighted at Nasik station. The scene was dreadful, as cholera epidemic was on full swing, and all they could hear was moaning sound of the families that lost their loved ones. Purandare's family feared if they had to stay here for a day. His brother had cholera symptoms, but Purandare convinced everyone, saying, as Sri Sai Maharaj had blessed and assured for their safety, they need not worry about anything, as he will protect them. Carrying this belief and thought in their head, the family spent a day at Nasik. Next day, they boarded the train to Mumbai and reached home safely. By then, his brother's symptoms also subsided. Thus, Purandare was blessed to experience many wonderful divine plays of Sri Sai Maharaj. Another significant one was directing him to go to Radhakrishna Mai. In the earlier episodes, we have heard that generally Sri Sai Maharaj puts his devotees to two types of tests. They are Kamini and Kanchana. Kanchana denotes wealth. This is verified by asking the devotees for dakshana. Whenever Sri Sai Baba asks a devotee for dakshana, he would observe the person's attitude at the time of offering. If the devotee considers giving dakshana as an additional expenditure, then that reveals his greed for money. Kamini denotes lust. To testify the interest of a person for women, Sri Sai Baba used to send the devotees to Shala. Shala means school. This Shala is the house of Radhakrishna Mai. Sri Sai Maharaj addressed her home as school because the Divine Mother is a great yogini. None can gauge her divinity distinctly. Her service to the Supreme Master Sri Sai Maharaj was unparalleled. Though she lived in Shiradi only for 20 years, the amount of service she provided is equivalent to a person serving for 200 years. The hamlet Shiradi got evolved to Shiradi Sai Sansthan through her strong will and untiring efforts. Simple-minded souls that cannot perceive the greatness of Sri Radhakrishna Mai had cited her as a prostitute in their articles, and that has been published in few magazines, which is very disappointing. It is our prime duty to not encourage such negative and disturbing thoughts about the Great Mother. The experiences of Tarkat family and Leelas of Mankarji is evident to the fact that she is a personification of goddess Annapurani. None can even imagine the yogic powers possessed by her. Encouraging any wrong notion about Sri Radhakrishna Mai will only result in earning the wrath of Sri Sai Maharaj. What were the experiences of Purandare while meeting Sri Radhakrishna Mai, and many more incredible leelas experienced by him in this connection will be heeded in the coming episode. Bo to Sri Sai, peace be to all. Om Sai Ram.